The number 4 greatest personal finance lesson that changed my life is that when it comes to finding our perfect spouse, we should most definitely marry for money. Now, before you judge me, hear me out. Another characteristics of millionaires Dr. Thomas Stanley found in his research was the relationship between marriage and wealth. It is very difficult for a married couple to accumulate wealth if one is a spendthrift. A household divided in its financial orientation is unlikely to accumulate significant wealth. And I know this too well with my own marriage. Both my wife and I didn't come from money. We both came from working-class immigrant families and learned the harsh lessons of money well into our adulthood through mistakes. However, despite the precarious financial situation we found ourselves in right after our wedding, broke with $105,000 of student debt, we're able to achieve financial security today because we had each other. Not only did my wife and I share the philosophy of frugality and long-term perspective, we had each other to lean on throughout our financial journey. Ongoing money discussions became normal in our household, especially when we were knee-deep in our debt paydown journey. We would often write down and talk about our monthly budget, net worth, financial problems, opportunities, and future financial goals. The great aspect about this was that it also expanded to other aspects of our marriage as well. More open and honest marriage. So when it comes to finding your perfect spouse, marry for money. It will serve you well in the long run. The number 5 greatest personal finance lesson that changed my life is that effective investing should actually be quite boring. Paul Samuelson, the first American economist to win the Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences, said it best. Investing should be more like watching paint dry or watching grass grow. If you want excitement, take $800 and go to Las Vegas. The media likes to make it seem like investing should be fast, exciting, and exhilarating. And sadly, too many people believe this. You don't need to look forward to see this in play. Just look at the recent craze around cryptocurrency and NFTs. Most people investing in these risky assets don't really understand what they're buying. They're driven by emotion rather than logic. They think just because people are making quick money from it, it is smart investing. But this is far from the truth. The most effective way to invest is also the most boring. For example, the most effective way to grow our wealth through the stock market is to buy low-cost, broad market index funds like the Vanguard's Total Stock Market Index Fund, also known as VTSAX, and to hold it forever. It is cheap, simple, and effective way to invest in the market. However, compared to exciting investments like crypto and NFTs, it is very boring. You won't get rich overnight investing in investments like VTSAX. It'll take years, even decades. You're investing in the whole market at a low cost, and you're trusting that the compounding will eventually multiply your investment. This way of investing is smart, but it requires patience and frankly, no emotion. We need to disassociate our emotion from our money for this strategy. We're looking at the long-term trend of the market and investing for the long run. However, if you're looking to get rich next week or next month, you can't accept this kind of strategy. And you start looking for quick get-rich investments, which are oftentimes sold to you, taking advantage of your vulnerable emotion. Thousands of people lost money when the crypto market recently crashed. They were investing with emotion rather than logic and paid the price for it. Don't expect investing to be sexy and exciting. Smart investing should be as boring as watching paint dry and grass grow. If you're getting emotional about your investments, you're closer to gambling versus really investing. The number 6 greatest personal finance lesson that changed my life is that effective investing should also be very simple. Jack Bogle, the founder of Vanguard and the father of index funds, said it best. When there are multiple solutions to a problem, choose the simplest one. The media loves to highlight the image of investing as super complicated and risky. It throws out fancy jargons like alpha, dividends, and capital gains. And if you don't understand it, it goes out of your way to make you feel like you're the dumbest person in the room. But it only sounds and feels complicated because the financial industry is working hard to make you feel that way. It is the ultimate financial marketing machine at work. And what happens to many of us is that we get so overwhelmed that we never pull the trigger to investing in the market. Or we rely on so-called professionals to manage our money for us. And this can be detrimental to our wealth. The truth is, investing doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to understand all the jargons to start reaping the reward of compounding returns. I remember when I first started, I was so overwhelmed by everything I read and heard about investing that I didn't know where to start. I was scared of making the wrong move and losing my money. What finally got me started was taking baby steps. I started by investing in a very simple index fund that tracked the total market. And over time, I became more comfortable and more confident. And what I learned along the way was that creating an effective investment portfolio doesn't require a degree in rocket science. With just 2 or 3 simple funds and no more than maybe 30 minutes a year, any one of us can become a bona fide investor. Don't believe the lie that investing is complicated. It's as easy and simple as picking what to eat for dinner today. And the best part is, unlike dinner, you only have to do this once every few years. The number 7 greatest personal finance lesson that changed my life is that effective investing should be for the long run. And when we mean long run, really long. Warren Buffett, the sage of Omaha, said it best. Our favorite holding period is forever. Warren Buffett doesn't invest in index funds. He finds good quality companies. However, Warren Buffett tries to find stocks that are worthy of being held for many years down the line. Instead of focusing on the short-term opportunities of a stock, he considers the fundamentals, the company's ability to innovate in its market and consistently boost its profit. The lesson here isn't that we should try to stock pick like Warren Buffett, because there's a reason why there's only one Warren Buffett. Rather, his philosophy in long-term investing. None of the companies purchased or investments made by Berkshire Hathaway was ever done with a short-term mindset. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger didn't choose companies or stocks because they thought the price was going to rise this week, this month, or even this year. They bought and invested in companies because they wanted to own those businesses for the long term. Yes, they still sell stocks occasionally and for a variety of reasons, but their primary approach is still with the mindset of owning them forever. For example, Berkshire Hathaway has owned Coca-Cola, which owns about 10% of its shares, for 34 years. American Express, 29 years. Costco, 22 years. Now, compare that to an average investor who holds a share for 5.5 months. So when we're approaching our own investment, we should have a long-term mindset. That once we buy a specific fund, we should plan on holding it essentially forever. Not trying to time the market, not trying to buy funds for cheap so we can sell them for a hefty profit quickly. There are countless studies that show that market timing is a fool's errand. Motley Fools defines market timing most accurately. A strategy based on predicting short-term price changes in securities, which is virtually impossible to do. Learn from the best and focus on long-term investments, not short-term.